Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Saturday, August 29th, 2015 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is my being is a balance of this moment and the magic of possibility. And speaking of the magic of possibility, we have a full moon, supermoon in Pisces today. This is happening at 11:35 a.m. I may have said p.m. yesterday. I apologize for that. I glanced at it and saw it wrong. So 11:35 a.m. But you're definitely going to be experiencing the power of the full moon in the p.m. when it comes up and you get to see her in her fullness. And so this full moon is happening in Pisces. And this full moon is so cool because it's connecting to Jupiter. It's going to connect to Jupiter before it goes full. So Jupiter is going to be like, hey, I'm going to throw in some of this infinite possibility stuff that I love to throw in there. So Jupiter's going to throw some of that in. And then later in the day, later in the evening, it's actually going to connect into Neptune, bringing in the magic, the mystical that Neptune energy can bring in. So I think it's pretty cool. And this full moon is also heralding eclipse season. The next two moons, our new moon and then full moon, are going to be eclipse moons. So, you know, this is a precipice of something big. And I also want to remind you that the new moon that we had in Pisces was at 29 degrees. So this is kind of like finishing some work that we put in back in when was that? That was that would have been March. That energy in March as we finished off the lunar year at the last degree, and now here we are, really, what did we put into work with that? What did you put into action? What intentions did you set? Because this is helping bring in that magic of being, that magic of possibility. So let's talk about all the stuff that's happening. So, let's see, the moon connecting to Jupiter. You know, Jupiter is really cool because Jupiter actually co-rules Pisces with Neptune. And, you know, I think that what this is asking, you know, a full moon is always this opposition between the sun in a sign, so the sun in Virgo, and the moon in the opposite sign. And Virgo is this everyday reality. It's very practical. And Pisces is the opposite of that. It's like fairy dust and magic, the mystical, the place of possibility, the place of magic. And so with this, you know, there can be that tug of war, but I really do prefer to work with that energy because it's more similar than we know. And that's where that, you know, the mantra came in. My being is a balance of this moment, but the magic of possibility, because that magic is feeding in every second. In every breath, there's a universe of possibilities. So let go of thinking that you know how things are going to be, thinking that you know how things are, and allow the space for the magic of this moment. Bring that in. Allow the balance of it. It doesn't mean that you don't go through the actions, but hold space for those miracles. And some people are like, I don't. My mom has been saying, and this makes me sad. I know it has to do with my dad. She's like, I used to be optimistic. I'm like, you can be again. You know, my dad's hanging around. There are miracles in every moment. But you have to invite them in. And that's the other thing. Can you invite in the bliss? The bliss, the miracles, the magic that comes in with that Pisces energy. And with that Jupiter energy, Jupiter helping, and that Neptune energy helping in. It's so cool. It's such a cool combination. But I also want to remind you that full moons are also a time of release. So it is a time to let go. It's a time to see, where do I not let bliss into my body? Where do I hold back from miracles? Because I'm kind of afraid that it's not going to happen. I know that's something that I will tend to do. I'm not going to wish for that because I'm kind of afraid it's not going to happen. It's time to, embrace the possibility. Embrace the fact that the universe is on your side. So, you know, the other thing that I was really thinking about is Pisces has this compassion action with it. It's time to re-invite compassion into our lives. Hold compassion for ourselves and for others, because we all are on this path together. And this feeds into that idea of oneness. You know, we've just been through Leo, and I had the Aquarius full moon, and in that, you know, I talked a little bit about utopia and oneness. But the interesting thing is that when it comes to Aquarius, that's a concept. It's very mental. When it comes to Pisces, we recognize that this has actually already happened, that we actually are oneness. It's not actually a concept, that we actually are all interconnected at any given moment. And everything that we choose for ourselves does impact everybody else, which is why we have to be good to ourselves, because we can't be good to the world if we're not being good to ourselves. Compassion starts within. So, that being said, I want to read the Sabian symbol because I think it's so interesting with this. The Sabian symbol, I'm actually going to read both of them. For Virgo, 6 degrees, is a merry-go-round. And then for Pisces, 6 degrees, it's so funny for Pisces at 6 degrees, a parade of army officers in full dress. And this to me is like, that's the universe. There's a description of the universe. There is the Sirius, the army. But you know what? Even they are wearing costumes. And even that, I don't want to trigger anybody, I don't want to upset anybody, but everything, all the world's a stage. Can you recognize the play even in that? You know, can you see that? And then can you recognize the seriousness in a merry-go-round? That is actually a teaching instrument for children. How the world circles around. Everything comes around again. These experiences come around again. It's all connected. It's all going around together. So it's so interesting how these two things that seem so night and day, black and white, serious and play, actually intertwine and teach each other lessons. That is the energy of Virgo and Pisces. So, this full moon, let go. Let go. Let go of what doesn't suit you. Step into your authentic nature. Step into your authentic magical nature. And for the cards, new vision. This is a new vision of who you could be, who you actually are. Who you are is a magical being. Do you believe that? Do you live as if? Trust it. Reach into that light. Let go and trust yourself. And stop comparing your magic to the magic of everybody else's. Your magic is just right for you. That's it for today. Invite bliss. Let go of anything that is not bliss. I'll see you tomorrow. Namaste.